Elon Musk is solving hardware problems with a software mindset of Tesla. Welcome back, dear friends. This is Armin Harayan from TalkNews.com. If you are here for the first time, please subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you may be notified when I upload our next Tesla story. One of Tesla's big advantages over legacy automakers is its software expertise. Back in 2014, Tesla co-founder Jan Wright told Avanex contributor Charles Morris that Big Auto's software tended to resemble a dog's breakfast. Tesla, with its Silicon Valley roots, designed its vehicles with a unified systems architecture from the beginning. That's the sort of thing that Tesla gets right in its sleep, and the big guys really struggle with it, said Wright. Half a decade later, they are still struggling, as Volkswagen's software snafu with its new ID.3 EV demonstrates. However, there are some deeper lessons to be learned from Tesla's software mindset. Steve Denning is an authority on agile management and methodology that prioritizes responding to customers' needs and embracing changes. In a recent article in Forbes, he argues that hardware developers need to embrace agile principles to keep up with the pace of innovation. I think that makes really good sense. The Agile Manifesto, created by 17 software developers in 2001, embraces 4 core values: individual interactions over process and tools, working software rather than thorough decommunication, collaboration with customers, and responding to change rather than following a plan. For Denning, the primary principle of agility is an obsession with the customer's needs. He writes that innovation begins from and is driven by the customer's changing needs. This is a reminiscent of Steve Jobs' famous line, "Start with the customer expertise and work backward to the technology," a principle that Tesla has followed to great success. But what does this have to do with the dichotomy between hardware and software? Plenty. Many have pointed out the obvious fact that atoms are harder to manipulate than ones and zeros, and have cited this as the reason that innovation tends to happen much more slowly in the physical realm. I myself have often drawn comparisons between the late 1990s internet boom and the current transition to electric mobility. The latter is playing out much more slowly, and it's tempting to assume that this is only because building automobiles happen in the physical realm. As I've quipped in more than one previous article, cars, unlike software, can't be built in a dorm room. However, Denning argues that the atoms versus byte difference is far from being the whole story. Existing manufacturing processes are also slow because they are designed to be slow. He presents the example of a car door. Engineers may come up with a better design, but if an automaker has $100 million invested in a machine that makes the existing door, the innovative new door isn't likely to be put into production anytime soon. Today, with 3D printing technologies, it's possible to make rapid changes to hardware components at a fairly low cost. Why doesn't this happen? It's not a hardware problem, Denning tells us, but a management problem. In the pre-Tesla days, you bought a car from a dealer's lot, and that was the car you had until you wore it out on or sold it. Buyers didn't expect anything else from a car. However, consumers who have grown up with computers and smartphones are coming to expect what Tesla already delivers: a capability to improve their cars every month or so after purchase through software updates, writes Denning. Agile software development is all about designing products in a modular fashion, continually innovating and incorporating customer feedback and lessons learned in the development process. Agile developers never arrive at perfect, writes Denning. They keep it up. The improvement journey never ends. Elon Musk has brought some of this continuous improvement mojo in the hardware world. Tesla uses traditional CAD tools such as CATIA, but they also invest in an end-to-end 3D modeling system from which they can view and simulate entire assemblies and automatically print parts, consultant Berg writes. Importantly, the software is fast even when handling complex assemblies so that engineers do not have to wait, which encourages a rapid iterative design approach. SpaceX also exhibits a similar process of continuous iteration. Instead of spending months or years on design and then carefully building one perfect prototype, they build many and they test them all in myriad ways, writes Berg. They want to get the thing to the test stand even if it has imperfections. To reduce the cost of making parts whose design is always changing, they use 3D printing. This allows the design to rapidly evolve. Musk's two companies, Tesla and SpaceX, are case studies in a new way of looking at manufacturing. As Denning writes, they demonstrate that this is possible to run a hardware company like a software company in an agile fashion. Could a legacy automaker or aerospace firm make the leap to its new way of thinking? As many of management guru has lamented, traditional ways of doing things are embedded deeply in the major corporate culture, and so are outdated definitions of their products. Car companies are still thinking of a car as a metal transportation device with a few electronic gadgets attached to it, writes Denning, echoing what Ian Wright told me years ago. The central truth about the slow pace of automotive innovation: it's a leadership and management problem, not a problem of atoms versus bytes. Hardware manufacturers are still largely in the grip of traditional management thinking, and they have, with notable exceptions, been less active in embracing agile management principles with a focus on customers, self-organizing teams, and networks. Many of them still have the old focus on shareholders, bureaucracy, and hierarchy. Should we be surprised that firms managed in this way are slower to innovate? For the change to happen, we will need a different kind of leadership in these firms. At Tesla and SpaceX, Elon Musk thinks and acts like an engineer who rolls up his sleeves and gets into the nitty-gritty of how things are done. He doesn't spend all his time looking at financial projections, studying market performance numbers, or holding the hands of his direct reports. Instead, he is focused on the products and the company's mission. Unlike most CEOs, he says he spends 80% of his time doing engineering. Here is a quote. Musk has defined his vision for SpaceX to make humans and spacefaring species, but he takes responsibility for the product at all levels, writes Berg. He does not treat technical issues as outside of his purviews. Everything about the product and how it is designed, tested, and produced is of interest to him. He has experts to turn to, but he wants to know everything he can about what the product does and how it will work, and the entire ecosystem that produces the product, because of all of that affects the mission and the ability to attain his vision. Now, here is software first thinking. A related reason for the slow progress in hardware is that hardware firms have not yet fully accepted and internalized the possibilities that emerge from the fact that it is now possible for every person and thing on the planet to connect with any other person or thing on the planet instantly at or near zero cost. That means that everything the human race does can and will be reinvented. Hardware firms appear to be mainly focused on making the hardware better rather than thinking through: what could we do if we started from the new possibilities of software and then ask what hardware we might need? The hardware engineers still like to see themselves in charge with the old mindset of what the product is a physical thing. Thus, car companies are still mainly thinking of car as a metal transportation device with a few electronic gadgets attached to it. They have yet to come to terms with the social reality that their product, like Tesla's, has become a multifunctional entertainment center on wheels, with which we can even hold conversations and conduct business. Many other sectors that deal with physical things are faced with similarly wrenching changes. A library goes from a physical collection of books with a software index to a website that may or may not have access to physical books. Movies shift from physical cinema to online video streaming. An office shifts from being a physical building to an online network that may or may not have physical facilities associated with it. Well, friends, let me know what you think about these things, and let me know what you think about Tesla doing to improving hardware problems and solving hardware problems with software mindset. In the meantime, this is Armen Harian from TorqueNews.com. Have a wonderful day. Please subscribe to our channel, ring the bell so you may be notified when I upload our next Tesla story, and I'll see you in our next report. God bless you and take good care of each other.